And now we have our last graduate. Some of you might know him.
Please, you haven't even heard me yet. I might suck. Wait, before I start, I just want to give a round of applause for my buddies in the show, Dylan Murphy and Lad Lopes. They come a long way. That's a tough act to follow. Usually I do the closing, but that's tough to follow. Now, everybody for years has been telling me to do stand-up comedy, so I said I'll try stand-up while I can still stand up. I'm surprised. I thought they were going to put me on at the beginning of the show. They waited till the end. I thought they figured I'd pass away before the end of the show. At least I'm dressed for it. But to tell you the truth, I'm only 36 years old. Now, I'm only 36 years old. I don't know if my mother did drugs while she was pregnant or just watched the movie Cocoon a lot. But I was always old. I was born old. When I was born, the doctor slapped me, broke my hip. I was in the hospital another 6 months. In high school, I was voted most likely to die. Benjamin Button, he's got nothing on me. He can go shake his ass. But looking like this, I gotta say, does have its advantages. It's got its advantages and disadvantages. I didn't even get to them yet, but thank you. We're checking it for Tourette's. Now, one of the biggest advantages is with the police. Any cops here tonight? Oh, good. Now, I never get pulled over. I mean, when I drive, all you see is 2 knuckles in the hat. I drive a Mercury Grand Marquis. That's an old lady car. In fact, the first 7 letters in Grand Marquis actually spelled grandma. Keep applauding me because I get to take a sip every time you applaud. Now, at the time I bought my car, a girl I worked with bought one of Hitler's cars, the Volkswagen bug. And she was all excited. She says, I just bought a Volkswagen. She said, it comes with a vase on the dashboard for flowers. I said, that's nice. I said, I just bought a Mercury Grand Marquis. Comes with a glass of water on the dashboard for your teeth. Another advantage to looking like this is senior discounts. I get them. I do. Dunkin' Donuts is beautiful. 9 times out of 10, I walk in there, I'm walking out paying $1.21 less. I do all that. Newport Creamery, not so bad. Every once in a while I'll get it. Friendlies, not so friendly. They don't give you anything over there. They should change the name from Friendlies to assholes. Now, another advantage to looking like this is my wardrobe. I haven't had to buy clothes in 20 years. I just wait for people to pass away and I get their clothes.
That's right!
And it's a pretty good gig. I go to the funeral parlor, they put something on, I lay down in the next room for a little while. If they like the clothes, they put them on the stiffs. If not, I walk out with a brand new suit. Now, the disadvantages to looking like this, there's a lot. I mean, obviously your physical disadvantages, my back goes out more than I do. I got a hip like a teacup. I got a prostate the size of a void basketball. I piss like a guy stutters. And that's all the stuff off the top of my head, what's left of it. I used to have a beautiful head of hair, now it's all in my nose. I never planned on getting this bald. I looked in the mirror the other day, I seen an ass with eyes staring back at me. I don't know whether to wash my face or wipe it. Now, another disadvantage, obviously, are my pants. Look at these pants. These pants should not be this high. I can pull a David Carradine on myself with my own pants. I went to tie my shoe 20 minutes ago, I almost choked myself to death. And I was never hit with the ladies with these pants, obviously. I mean, we don't go down to the clubs and a girl standing there with her girlfriend saying, oh my God, look at that guy over there with the pants up to his nipples. The one that looks like Fred Mertz. Oh my God. I gotta get into those pants. Well, she doesn't know it's gonna take her 20 minutes. Now, another disadvantage to looking like this, you have good days and bad. Like a couple of weeks ago, a Boy Scout walked me halfway across the street and left me there. And I said, that's the last time I buy cookies off your sister. Girl Scouts, they're like drug dealers with pigtails. You can't refuse them. They take all your money and they give you diabetes. Yeah. Goddamn Thin Mints, I'm down to 8 toes now. I haven't done a decent Holy Gully since Reagan got shot. I guess there's no Republicans in the Anyway, now another disadvantage to looking like this is you attract weird friends. I got a lot of weirdos. I got an old roommate, 480 pounds.
Oh, shit.
I got a friend, Jen, she's got MS, she's in a wheelchair. Her husband's got glaucoma. I look like I'm 80. Every time we have lunch together, people think it's a telethon. But I'm going to talk about my fat roommate for a little while. His mother's in the audience, she says it's okay. 480 pounds. How you like to see that come waddling down the hall with no bathrobe at 2:30 in the morning? I used to pray for cataracts every night. And we got along good, but I mean, he's a stand-up comic stream, obviously. He's big. You know, you could say he's so fat after sex he smokes turkeys. He blows his nose and gravy comes out. His blood type is ragu. But we lived together for a while and we got along good. But we had some differences. Like you could tell the difference between the two of us walking to the bathroom down the hall in the middle of the night. Now I wore slippers and I shuffled. I sounded like a tire with a slow leak. And he's just big and loud, like Godzilla attacking the city. And it was scary. I mean, pictures used to shake on my walls and a couple of jacks ran under my bed for cover. And listen, I apologize if there's any Japanese people in the audience. I'm sorry you lost the war. But don't worry, we'll buy a couple of your cars. We'll make it even. Now, the only problem I had living with him, other than the stress fractures on the toilet bowl, was every time I brought a girl home, he'd get jealous. Now, look at me. What the hell kind of girl am I going to bring home? You should have seen the girls I brought in that house. Looked like the circus was in town. I used to go with a pretty girl, but she was very bow-legged. Every time she sat down, it looked like somebody stole her cello. Class too. From here up, she was fine. From here down, she looked like the entrance to a subway. I used to like to go swimming with her, though. Then I used to go with a girl with a hump on her back. I enjoyed going with her because when we danced together, I had a place to put my drink. Then I went with an ugly girl named Margarita. You couldn't kiss her unless she had salt on her lips. I had to get rid of her. I started to get high blood pressure. Then then for only one summer, I went with a nice girl with big buck teeth. Only reason I went with her because I was drinking beer at the time that didn't have a twist-off bottle top. Then I went with a little midget girl. Now I already heard that. I know you guys how you feel about midgets, but she was a little midget. I mean, she had no legs, just an ass on shoes. She was like a Mr. Potato Head. She even had the two little blue shoes sticking out and the compartment in her ass. I enjoyed going with her because the whole time I was with her, I always remembered where I put my car keys. Now, I got a nice lady friend now. She's 5'10", it's like climbing a tree. When we dance together, it looks like I have 3 heads. But she's nice. She's the best girlfriend I ever had because she hates to go out. All I do, I have to go over every 2 hours and turn her so she doesn't get bed sores. And they just came in a couple of weeks ago and they put railings up on the sides of her bed so she doesn't fall out. I love having relations with her. I'm like Mary Lou Retton on those friggin' things. Don't applaud, just buy me a drink. And she's old, okay? We're not gonna lie to you, she's old. And for Valentine's Day, she gave me osteoporosis. I was upset, I was hoping for arthritis. But she's good, she's nice and easy. I know she's got St. Peter at spitting distance. And there's always a couple of vultures circling the house. But she's easy. I make her a martini with a prune in it, I put her to bed. And I read her a bedtime story about what it was like going through the Depression, and she goes right to sleep. But I gotta say, looking like this, I enjoy getting away with things. I mean, I see how far I can push it. You know, I look old. I'm not gonna... Cat's out of the bag now. I'm sitting at McShaw's one day, having a highball, and there's a kid sitting next to me. Now, I must look ancient. So he says, sir, can I ask you a few questions? I said, sure. He said, well, what was it like being in World War II? He says, were you in the service? So I said, yeah. I didn't want to disillusion the kid, so I'd go along with it. I said, yeah. He said, are you still active? I said, well, to tell you the truth, I tried to re-enlist at Old Navy, but they wouldn't take me. So then he says, do you need money to live? And I said, oh, no, kid. I said, I need money to die. He says, you don't need money to live? I said, no. I said, I drink cheap whiskey, I smoke cheap cigars. I wear dead people's clothes, I drive an old car, my lady friends are shut in. I said, I'm living the life of Riley. I said, I do all right. And he said to me, he asked a few more questions, and he said, sir, thank you very much for your time. He said, I'd like to shake your hand. I said, you don't have to, kid, it shakes by itself. But, talking about my lady friend and fooling people, and I enjoy punking people, I'm not gonna lie to you. I sent my name and picture into Betty White. I want to see if I can get on off their rockers. Even if I can just get out there as a stunt double, I'll be like Lee Majors, and instead of the $6 million man, I'd settle for the Social Security kid. But a couple of months back, my lady friend wakes up, she feels a heaviness on her chest. It was my foot. She's having chest pains, I gotta drive her to the hospital. So 3 o'clock in the morning, we drive to Merriam Hospital. And the window opens and the kid says, patient's name? So she starts to give her name. And he says, no ma'am, I want the patient's name. He said, sir, what's your name? I said, I'm not the patient. Then she gives all the information. Another kid comes by, grabs my arm. He says, sir, you need to sit in this wheelchair. I said, but I'm not the patient. Now she's in a room, she's on the stretcher. I'm sitting in a chair. A nurse comes in, and she says, it's a little chilly in here. She looks down at me, she said, would you like a blanket? I said, yes, I would, but I'm not the patient. Then a little girl comes in a little while later with a bucket and some water, and she said, it's time for your sponge bath. I stood right up, I said, yes, I'm the patient. Thank you very much. Relax, you guys are already in the will. Relax. No, it's almost time for my nap. I gotta go, but thank you very much.
Brian Vincent, everybody. The first day that Brian came into class, we didn't know what the fuck he was. Yeah! We were shocked. I thought, and this is the fucking truth. We were in the class for like 2 hours. The first hour and a half of the first class, I thought the owners were fucking with me. I did. I swear to God, I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? And what is he wearing? I couldn't believe it. It was insane. It's not Brian.
That's our boy!
Yeah. Brian looks old. I don't know if you figured it out yet, but I look fat. That has its disadvantages. I can't be normal things for Halloween. I tried being Tarzan one year for Halloween. Showed to the party as Tarzan. Everybody thought it was Fred Flintstone. And the year after that, I said, you know, I'm going to be something simple and basic. I'm going to be Frankenstein. So I showed to the party as Frankenstein. Everybody thought it was Shrek. So this year I said, you know what? I am just going to be a fat person. So I was Christina Aguilera. Didn't work. I showed up to the party as Christina Aguilera. Everybody thought it was the mom from Honey Boo Boo. It was awful. I just want to say thank you guys for coming out tonight. It was cool, and I just want to, management wanted me to thank you for being patient with the bills and the drinks and everything. We were dramatically understaffed. We didn't know that Brian was going to bring fucking town. Brian said he worked in a nursing home. We didn't know he was going to pack a bus and bring everybody. We told him, hey, how many do you think you got? Oh, you know, I got a couple, 2, 3, 5,000. Fucking amazing. How many of you guys watch the Olympics? Yeah? It's good. Yeah, I love the Olympics. I love it. I learned things during the Olympics. Very good stories this year. Like, I'll skip the stories. Not now. Not after he shot his girlfriend, but before that. Over the summer. He was a hero, man. He was a legless sprinter in the Olympics, and everybody was accusing him of cheating. It was bullshit. Like, he's cheating. He's cheating. He's cheating. Like, he's a motherfucking sprinter without legs. How's he cheating? That's like doing the parallel bars with a hook. It makes sense to me. But I've learned things. I learned 2 very important things this year. First thing I learned, the name of the country is actually pronounced Nigeria. I didn't know that, and I'm sorry everybody that knows Beatles. I was calling it niggeria all those years. I kept getting weird looks. Now I know why. Second thing I learned after watching the women's gymnastics final is that I'm a pedophile.
I lost weight and
I don't know if NBC has a suggestion box.
I lost weight.
But if they do, don't put the H of the gymnast on the screen. Be my suggestion. I'm trying to jerk off. And I can't do that when numbers like 15, 16 showing up on the screen. It fucks up my rhythm. We got one more comment for you guys. You ready for him? This guy was recently inducted into the Rhode Island Comedy Hall of Fame. Very good friend of mine. He's the guy that got me my start in comedy. Please put your hands together and welcome John Parada.